And that's exactly how this thing played out. I know exactly how I'm going to defend myself. And I hope I don't have to pull my gun. I don't have a problem with using my hands, but I don't know if he's got a gun. He openly states, I didn't see no gun, I've got a hoodie on. And it's all covered under my hoodie. I never pulled it. That's an extreme, that's my last option is pulling it. If I pull it, I use it. I don't flaunt it, I don't threaten you with it, I don't say, look, I got one. Judge Jankowski made a comment. Why didn't you make a verbal threat to him saying, look man, I got a gun. That's the biggest mistake you can tell somebody is that you got a weapon. Do you know why? I'll try to take it away from you even if I don't see it. I'll jump on you. I don't want to get you the opportunity to reach for it. If you told me, look, I got a gun and I'm going to shoot you, I've got no choice. I'm not going to wait for you to grab it and shoot me. I got to jump on you, and I will. That's why they have always told me, you don't tell them what you got. If you pull it, you use it. You don't flaunt it, it's not a toy. That's how I've been trained, okay? Judge Jankowski says, well, you should have just, no. Because I already know, if it was me, if you threaten me that way, that is a threat. Even if I don't see it. The only reason why I didn't pull my guns is because I didn't see anything on him. Nothing in his hands, I couldn't see anything on his hip. Fine, let's keep it hand to hand. That was my mentality. That's why I kept it hand to hand. Didn't see a weapon, let's do it hand to hand. Never pulled it. I actually got a video of me in my hoodie and my weapons on me, and you can't see them. This is a hoodie that comes down below my hips. It's that extra large. You don't see nothing, and I don't want you to. That's the point. It's not a toy. I don't flaunt it. Never have, never will. I'm telling him off. He's threatened me, but I'm now leaving. Rachel Torres, the mother of the 3-year-old, states she's in the room. She speaks to me. She implies she's one of these two women. She's with her daughter. These two women are with boys, and they both say, hey, I'm with my grandson, I'm with my son, depending on which one of the women are talking to me. I cross-examine her, and I state to her again, that's not what happened. She's a 250-pound woman. Tauruses. Somebody that you don't, maybe the average person would overlook, not somebody who's trained in detail. Okay? I know there was no 250-pound woman who was in this dining room when she spoke to me, but on the stand, she states she's in the room again. She speaks to me, she tells me to stop fighting, I'm with my daughter, etc. And I tell her on the stand, you weren't in the room. I know it for a fact. Some people may not pay attention to detail or have a good memory. There's other people who do. Almost have a photographic memory. It's just a nature. So I know exactly what was going on at the time that it happened, who I spoke to and who I didn't speak to. When I say that I spoke to 3 women, I know it was 3 women. I can pretty well tell you how old they were, their height, their weight, their hair color. I can't get this information. I can't get the female employee's information, and she's an employee. It's not like it was a witness who walked out and we don't know who she is. Now, Rachel Torres has got a boyfriend. His name is Sean Mantis. Sean Mantis, if you look on the DVD, is sitting in the booth. He's approximately 30 years old. He's with the 3-year-old girl. That girl is not alone. She's with a male adult, 30-year-old Sean Mantis. He's waiting for Rachel Torres to come back from the counter with the food, and that is on the DVD. You can actually see on the DVD when Rachel Torres comes back from the counter with the bag of food in her hands, and she comes back to the table to give it to her daughter. She's nowhere in the room when this happens, but yet she states on the stand, I'm in the room, I spoke to you, you spoke to me, you said to me, I said, now, her boyfriend, Sean Mantis, he states he's within 2 feet of me when the fight breaks out. Again, we get into this dispute. No, you weren't. You were in the room, but you're at You're approximately 40 feet away from me, and you're with, it's not his daughter, but you're with the 3-year-old girl at the booth. That's shown that. It comes out, when I walked past him and everything like that, I said, so you're telling me that I stood in front of your booth for a minute and I'm videotaping and you didn't see anything? No, I didn't see nothing, because it never happened. But then when the fight breaks out, he says that somehow he got up from the booth over here and then got over here within a few seconds. It's all shown on the DVD. This is the thing that I don't understand why the city attorney is prosecuting me, because, well, Detective Carpenter made it what it is. Again, I go back there, I spot how many HD cameras we've got in the dining room, but yet we don't have any proof other than one. There's 6 in the dining room alone. Okay, where's the other ones? It's edited for time. I get in there about 3:15, 3:20, but yet there's nothing that shows me doing anything until 3:45 when I'm done eating, done reading the newspaper, done drinking my water, and I'm ready to leave. That's edited. Just some records of when I was down here. On that date, I spoke to this lieutenant and that sergeant about my complaint of my $20,000 that is gone after Carpenter served his search warrants. I came down, I spoke to those 2 guys, and they refused to take my complaint that I'm out $20,000. They outright refused to take my complaint. So that's why I attached it with my complaint here against Carpenter. There's the floor plan. This one here is my complaint against Sean Mantis himself.
Okay, what do you want me to do with, if it's, can we do the, whatever you have against the police officers?
And I understand that Officer Saunders, badge number 292, also responded to this call with Kerrigan, and all that information from Saunders is gone. No, who did you talk to? Who's the witness statement?
Yeah, most likely they went for it.
Evidently, it appears that way.
Correct.
So I'm here to say I'd really like to know who he talked to and who did he speak to, because there's a number of witnesses that are unavailable and that.
Okay. And then this is Mantes.
This is
you
actually...
want me to investigate this for possible criminal or municipal ordinance violations?
That's correct. This is actually Calderon.
Okay.
This is actually Sean Calderon. This is the man who attacked me himself.
So what did you file with the court?
I've been trying to press charges against Calderon for attacking me and hitting me and trying to rob me.
Okay.
And that is my paperwork showing that I've talked to Judge Carter about it. I motioned the court for that. I talked to the city attorney about that when I was on the stand in December with Jankowski and Iceland. I said I want to press charges against Calderon for attacking me, hitting me, threatening me, and trying to rob me. Okay? They laugh and mock me. Okay? That's my complaint against Calderon.
Okay.
This one is against Torres, Rachel Torres, for giving, for perjury and giving false witness on the stand. And it goes.
So you did that, but this perjury, a judge would have to.
I filed a motion with the judge and talked to the city attorney with them about it. And again, we're into go talk to the police department and go talk to the district attorney about it.
Okay. I'll hold on to this one, but typically the judge is the one who does the perjury.
I know, and and he was no help.
Okay. I've never done a perjury case because it's the judge.
I accept that.
I will acknowledge this, though, that we took receipt of it and that we will look to see the fruits of that complaint.
And that's why there's a motion in there to the judge saying, hey, I want to file perjury charges against these witnesses, and the DVD will support my accusations that these people were. He referred it to the city attorney, Miles Eastman, who then referred it to, well, then file a complaint with the police department and the district attorney, and is basically passing the buck.
I got you.
So.
Okay, this one's against Joe Peters?
This is against Joe Peters for the same thing.
Okay.
And
Joe Peters is the manager of McDonald's?
That's correct.
Okay. And then this is
Sean Mantis. That's the boyfriend, fiance of Rachel.
For lying as well, that said he was within 2 feet, but in reality he was within 40 feet.
Yes, and the DVD all shows that.
We'll show this. And we got this last one.
That's Anne Marie Iceland. This is my complaint against Anne Marie Iceland because before the trial started, She took each and every one of the witnesses into a private room for a private conversation and coached them and told the witnesses what and how to say it on the stand. And I filed a complaint against Anne Marie Iceland for that and motioned the court, and they responded, the city attorney responded with an affidavit stating, yes, that's exactly, well, close to what happened. They admit that they had a private conversation with all the witnesses. They admit it was in a private room. So I did motion the court on that. I did file a complaint with that, and again, it gets kicked back.
I don't know if I'm going to arrest an attorney.
Much caution you that we may be pushing this out until the conclusion of any appeals with the Carpenter complaint. Some of our conversation today, though, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm going to wait until the criminal proceedings and appeals are over, because it would be, I would be jumping to a conclusion, offering up an opinion or a judgment, if you will, when we know.
But I have to go through this process in order to
Nope.
lodge my complaints. Second, I had to wait until Judge Carter ordered the material released. It's taken 2.5 years to reach this point. If I would have got more of that information, there'd be less of a complaint, is what I'm saying. I have been patient, and I have been waiting for that information. The reason why I mention it to you is, to this day, there is still information on witnesses that have not been released. I'm told that it doesn't exist. I've been told by the city attorney that they have no idea who this female employee is, but yet they have a statement from her, and I get on the stand, I get cross-examined by Iceland about the statement that the female made about, yes, I get asked under cross-examination by Iceland who this, and yet I say, okay, fine, let's find out what the statement is, let's find out who she is, let's get her on the stand, and everything is, well, we don't know who she is, we can't identify her, she's a female employee, how can you not figure out who she is? Under cross-examination, even Joe Peters refuses to identify who she is. He's under strict orders. Whatever you do, don't tell him who she is. She was there. She was in the room. She saw what happened. She spoke to me. I replied to her, as well as the two customers now are kind of like, well, we don't know who those two customers are because that whole area is all shaded in. If you watch the DVD, Dan, you will actually see when Rachel Torres comes back into the room with the food and gives it to her daughter and Sean Mantis, she walks over to the woman who's calling 911, which is one of the women that you can't see. She speaks to that 911 caller, and she makes a comment to that on the stand, Rachel Torres, because I asked her, who called 911? Rachel Torres says, I didn't, but there was another woman who did. And it's on the DVD. You'll actually see Rachel Torres walk over to her and talk to this lady. It's all darkened in. Again, I bring up these details because I've watched that DVD many times. Slow motion, frame by frame. I've time studied it, and I can time study exactly where I was, when I was, and I've actually gone as far as took a tape measure, and I can tell you how many feet it was. I can tell you that. Where's my 20 grand? Where's the charges? None ever had to go through this before, and I cannot believe the loose ends, the loopholes, the holes in the entire story of everything just to make me look bad. I want to make one thing clear. You look at the picture of what they did to me. I never called the police. I never talked to them. I have my reasons why I don't. These guys, when I actually used a tremendous amount of restraint and I didn't pull my weapon, I didn't even pull my combat knife. Not according to the city attorney and Detective Carpenter. They didn't just come up to me and talk to me, ask me, question me. They came out and they attacked me like some street thugs. No conversations, not showing no badge, not identifying themselves, not telling me, what am I under arrest for? I spent 2 days in jail and they wouldn't even tell me what I was under arrest for or what the probable cause and reasonable suspicion is. I'm on the receiving end of somebody's trying to make a whole lot more out of nothing and trying to prosecute me and trying to make it out like I'm some kind of a pedophile. And it's the second time in a 1-week period that this county, either the sheriff's department or the police department, tried it on me. It's not the first time, it's the second time. You can talk to Sheriff Wade Hollingsworth and ask him what his little frame-up and setup was in his police report read, and ask him how that turned out in court when I got done with him. Same thing with Carpenter. He tried to tie this Hollingsworth case on top of this case and make it look like it was something it wasn't. That makes everybody look bad and makes me look bad, and that's the bigger picture. It's the end game of where it started and where we are today. I can understand a psychotic schizophrenic, say Calderon, sees or imagines something. Happens all the time. There's lots of schizophrenics out there who see and imagine things, and they'll say things, okay? I can understand that from a person's disability side. I cannot accept it from a professional law officer who spent 4 months investigating this, looking at 16 video cameras, and then turns it into, yeah, you did this, you provoked him, you were videotaping, and bullshit like that. If Calderon wants to see child pornography and think that I'm videotaping him, I can't control that.